6 months.
4 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
You and confuse you, but I think that's so. Maybe we'll before then talk to him directly. Okay, so here's super fancy things. These were made. I think the only we're going to really use is there's an instance parameter. So cases where our doors change that. So and for some, okay, below 5 it just defaults to 5, and it has to do with the way that the references are to like 5 degrees. But you don't have to mess around with that. But if you do have a situation where you wanna change as a BOM parameter, yeah, the 4 and 916 the physical geometry, and just be sure. If you place it in a 2x6, I'll set it to 6. Have been removed both from the interior. Changed the where is that? Duh. But linked or not constrained. So if you do they have the hardware? Yeah, hardware inside JamDev that are good. Yeah, they have the tag which references color code, just like those are typewritten, right? The exterior door tagging. And I catalog pulled from the database. But just a couple other things. One, the hinged swing doors, and ones like this are 4090, and I think it's maybe the max is one day with the
yeah, that's true.
Jam. And so the one also a type catalog parameter, or you know, for a 2x4 wall or a 2x in a parameters 6 wall. They have different call out codes, read differently in the BOM. Right, and it has more that's in a different that makes that. I catalog the in process, make the new row standard. But yeah, I think the BOM number and edit part inventory and all that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So the hinge door. Different hinge. Is the door? Can our doors actually do this?
No, because it could potentially hit the trim.
The models that would be hitting the trim. I don't know how.
Well, different. But
yeah. I don't know.
they're offset hinges or whatever, but.
Okay. The doors sliding in the way the formulas were set up weren't reporting properly. Reload those, and all of that should be okay. So the ones we are making some serious progress in order to products within a single project. The way that you'll do that is load as group command. Which Robert here has been a while ago. The model group gets saved as a project file really well for us, and that's what allows it for your primary model, so the one that for your project. So product, if you have which one you want to be the primary and which one your primary product is. And I would say as group, yeah. So it won't even in of the, just how you to get it on recommend for at least for us in San Francisco that drive, and those models are about 15 meg to your computer as well. Issue and can probably do it right off of the S drive, which is terrifying to look at, but it's not a link. That's a different command. You can link it, and it becomes a model group once it's in your project. So when you look do you get to the primary? You keep the project north and sort of strips out the project north. So when you're doing your north, typically if you only have 2 products that are facing different secondary products to look right under. Yeah, you basically hate that for NES, but in the text.
Can do that when you play or another way, orienting.
Degrees off of the other side. Load in this, load in something else. I have some I don't want to use, but I'm going to try and find just as my other seed model. Keyboard color. Yeah, I'm looking at the garage now. Another balance. That'll work. That's fine. Another as a group. In a to set them a different way, and these have details. And we definitely want to include levels to move one product the loft house level. So you want to make sure to also want to include your grids because it doesn't let you have to probably be renamed because there's already a primary product. Lose them in the translation. So remembering correctly is on the level of the so I think it's going to use that as sort of move it up and down after it comes in. Yeah. This is loading one model into another and crossing my fingers. Errors about duplicate, all of you, but are using the seed models, we can show this to you even if it's not. What would be the disadvantage of just need to, you'd have to have LN1 and then it changes with linked files. I haven't worked with linked files very much. Right. And maybe you do all your Breeze House and like, yeah. And work on each of them kind of independently. Have you worked with linked files very much? Do you have answers?
And I think the modeled content, and you can go, I think, the model, but you could create maybe an issue to work around.
In linked models.
Sure. Okay. Maybe another issue. I'm not sure how you had two different mods touching, but typically I guess we would probably have site. I don't know. We have as a link in our link in the steel as well.
I mean, and this might not be a big deal. Set is accurate. You might have to just like list in the primary for the one so that you have all of the right, a huge deal.
I think
I looped the project before, and you can actually add a new sheet, so I don't think that would be too difficult to get.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can make it, wouldn't need to do that, right?
Be in the linked model that wouldn't.
Well, all of the mod sheets.
Or, I mean, unless you don't think you would to show both your primary product entry level.
I think the goal would be the composite view, and then if you need areas, maybe it won't fit on a sheet anyway, but that, one sheet, whether they're linked or not.
In the linked model?
I'm not sure of that.
that's I think you just have, and we're just going to have to try it and see what.
In Pro, besides and navigation and things like that,
You have to redo all the views. You just
you insert it as a group. It doesn't come with.
Have to remake those. So that is a big. I'm totally open to that.
When they get it, they're and whether.
Wouldn't they have? Like we're going to give them.
Oh yeah, them to
I
go
see.
off. It might be a pain.
You would have to add. Okay, yeah.
The phasing thing might be a hitch.
And change the phase name of the primary across linked models.
I guess that's a linked model. Good, right? But I don't know.
Bombs for each bombs will bump for each product.
Doesn't sound fun.
I think a bunch of duplication errors trying to bring. Maybe let's look at me. Let's try to figure out a way to do that to do it.
So now, if we get all of our structural link in another linked space,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Two different options for the link options. Two nested links. Nested links. So if you have that field in as overlay, it won't. So you want it to come through, you would link it as an overlay. And file linked into your file, you would use it as an overlay. Apps linked into another one. We do want that to come through.
That's right.
Yeah. And so linking will actually take less loading as group. It's really sort of the drawing instrument and whether you're probably going to be, you're going to merge them. I don't know.
Probably want like the whole thing.
Maybe interior elevation.
Well, sections you're going to.
So here we go. Yeah, reference type. As auto center to center, and I'm not sure how to win here.
And when you pick how you set the absolute path, possibly create problems when it's on look for a folder name with like that. Whereas if you pick.
you like the central one?
That file name going to be?
Oh, yeah, nothing. Although I don't know if it's
if it will let us link it different from your local because it has that. Yeah, I think we might at that point it doesn't matter whether it's absolute or relative.
central if you can do it that way.
Yeah.
So if you have like in your project folder on
And if you do have multiple projects and all that stuff inside of it, the primary one.
Then 3 different link models and all reading local.
Work in those local copies and put files into the primary. You don't want to work directly in the central model.
the whole, but it would probably solve a lot more.
I don't know who using a seed model, and let me know either now or be sure to support you in any way to figure this out. Because I think if we can figure this out, pretty much all of them at this point.
Something that you can just need this kind of organization.
I had set up a dichotomy for a primary product being something, and the idea being that they were going to be placed into, quote unquote, it makes sense to add views and sheet products.
Yeah, because they don't change. Always going to be the same. All that sort of stuff.
For the foundation.
If the foundation changes.
Panel's always the same.
Did you think it might get longer?
That's like the set is something.
Right.
So model.
Yeah, I think our
There would be things.
we have, schematic filters would apply across.
Right, like the graying out.
Yeah, all right, so I think we'll come up with my list of these. I think we've identified that, yeah. I know I'm wrong about a lot of things. So left and right, one, which I believe is the ALBL, both the locations. Give me link files inside of your schedules. Cross your fingers. Yahtzee. What if we could sort these? Maybe not.
Phase.
And it looks like the primary model.
Sort by level. There'll be different levels.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we'll have to see what.
You got entry level top.
Oh yeah. So those are
weird to show up in your schedule.
That's true.
With different names, like
Schedule rather than combine schedule.
Level in both models, you would say.
Name in the schedule. That name. Yeah, it should work in the same.
Wording, grouping, or appearance that you can turn to.
So,
Yeah.
so
In your schedule? Because you're going to have all, you're going to tag all your doors and windows.
I want to know what.
But they're all the at all. And like, here are all my doors and windows for the end of the drawing.
It makes me
how we want to use them. Balance left and right. We have, which is my favorite abbreviation, and we have the one. But yeah, so those, I would love to say at some point these are always going to be under stuff. Product or for a project rather, can give you any caveats of those tracking spread information. I might not see model, and they'll be able to enter. While I have you for another through here and try and figure out what other
Your linked model doesn't bring the phases in the BOM, right? Like, I mean, if we find issues.
Well, I think in this system we'll have to.
Hey, Luke,
you would run them all.
All right.
This is a long to like bring in stuff from link models. Yeah. Nothing.
View filters and view settings to control. This is my linked model.
I was just going to say, is it
To transfer phase, right?
I think that's
Sure.
not the actual phases? You're right.
I'm going to turn off this phase filter just so I can, never mind.
I have a contact at.
You could probably run these things by IDA. Okay, yeah, I'll set up a. So here we would want to, linked model. So if our view here look like, or confused and seed models are going to have, great. And about their recommendations, and then we start rolling this out as we can. Not sure what to say until we have everything, deadlines, and we can move forward. That sort of stuff when I tried to do it. I don't have a solution for you right now.
I mean, this seems specific stuff that we have figured out yet. Something in Revit gives me like.
Yeah. So it looks that makes me think we could. This week, one line, I sent out an email about all the hold down family, 100% and ready to go, but let me know.
Hey, Luke, I got a question. I know how to let you get to that. It's going to bring you to your...
it's deceptive because it's load, and then it's fine. Just say open right now.
Seed model in it?
Right.
Yeah, so you just go in here, pull up your backups.
Okay.
Yeah. We've actually restored of the Revit server, so this then contact IT and they can do.
Cool. Thanks, Luke.
I'll follow up with you guys